Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Data Dispatch. I hope you guys are having a great day. We are seeing a big sell-off in Meta, Facebook right now. After earnings have been reported, we see a tumble in the stock down about $70 in the after hours trading, equating to about 14 to 15%. Now, this is going to be very, very interesting as tomorrow market kind of starts to open up, how PLTR is going to be trading, especially as the majority of the investors, Wall Street specifically, is waiting for the GDP data to be released, which will give us a good indicator on what the Fed is going to do in terms of probability of cutting interest rates, which could have large influences on the large indexes and entail speculative stocks, more individual stocks such as PLTR will tend to be more volatile. We also, specifically talking about PLTR, have some very important things to talk about with some call options that are starting at a very specific expiration date, starting to pick up in volume, and that's because earnings is coming here sooner than we think. So if you are new to the channel or a returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos, and of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just collecting the data and dispatching it to you. Let's pop it up on the screen right here. You can see Meta in the after hours. Right now, down 14.28%. We see a large sell-off here going from the 489 basically down here to 416. And like I said, the majority of the market here is waiting for the first quarter GDP to roll out tomorrow morning. Reiterating, getting the sense of how strong the economy is growing and putting a point on the Federal Reserve's next move regarding interest rates. Now, right now, the U.S. is expected to expand about 2.7% in the first quarter right here, but especially a strong print is going to raise and keep the high risk that the Fed will likely keep policy tight in order to combat inflation that we see has been hanging around and has not really been getting too much better in the previous few kind of CPI data months that we have received. Now, markets right now, as we speak, are pricing in about 1 to 2 rate cuts, down from as many. Remember, last November when we had a big rally coming into the market, a strong reversal, that was basically 7 cuts that were priced into the market. Right now, 1 to 2 are. Where we see PLTR in trading today is closing at 21.59. We could continue to see a small pullback here, especially if Facebook comes into a cascade, Meta, leads into a cascade event. And if we have that combined with poor GDP data and we see the Fed likely going to be holding rates, if that probability is going to continue to rise, we could see a little bit of selling pressure with PLTR. But however, one big catalyst that's really been keeping PLTR on the headlines is earnings going to be coming up May 6th post-market. We have a lot of important information to cover regarding this news. Now, one thing that I can congratulate for PLTR technical trading and for the diamond hands out there and the supporters is a strong support level has been held at that $20. This will be really incredibly important if PLTR continues to have any type of a selling pressure due to other market variables and testing at that level. It could happen here in the near future. However, for people looking to get in at a lower price or either looking to dollar cost average, possibly this could be a decently cheap price considering we have earnings, like I said, that is coming out here on May 6th. And one big thing that we are seeing for PLTR is an unusual call options activity that's highlighting its value. And what we are seeing right now, in effect, is that we are seeing a lot of options being traded at the expiration of May 17th. Specifically, we see almost 7,000 call option contracts coming in here at the strike price of $26.50, up about basically another 25%. This means that people who are buying these calls are very optimistic on what earnings is going to report. 8 cents right here is what Wall Street is predicting right now. And one thing that we have seen is the earnings per share revisions are continuing to be increased, even how like they were last quarter, and Palantir was still able to beat those metrics. Now, the question is, especially here at the premium right now at a mid price of only 41 cents, 15.15% of the call strike, that is a decent deal right now. I want to say for those short-term option traders. Obviously options are very speculative. If it goes the other way, then the intrinsic value of those options are zero. But with that being said, it shows you what a lot of people are hedging their bet right now on for PLTR in the near future. And what we're seeing and why we're seeing, I want to say, The continuation of the demand for PLTR that is increasing is because the finding support here at that $20 per share is incredibly important, especially holding this head and neck shoulders neckline. I can't agree that PLTR right here, earnings could really kick it into a high gear and get it back into another run. One of the big things that we do have and we've seen as a big successor for PLTR is, of course, AIP. And we've seen data recently that they are averaging 5 AIP, different types of interactions with possible private clients every single day. And if you compare it to the amount of customers that they had in the last quarter and just with the commercial revenue and customer count that we saw increase, this could be a big catalyst for PLTR going on into the future. And especially one of the big things that I love to talk about all the time right here is the new partnership with Oracle. And I think this is a really important catalyst combined with PLTR, combined with AIP, that really will help its exposure getting involved with the cloud platform industry. And teaming up with a big software giant really could provide, right here, I agree with this 100%, a big boost to the commercial demand, which we have seen has been a great expander for PLTR's company. And also, in addition, let's not ignore the governmental contracts because PLTR has still been on top of the game with the governmental contracts. We see Titan, we see their interaction with all the other things that we've seen in the previous few weeks, and also with the Mid-Eastern and the geopolitical tensions right now, defense and security are very important. And this demand, I think, will only increase right here. And PLTR has worked very closely with the government and especially with working with AI defense systems. I mean, look at Titan. That's kind of a new project that they're taking headwind with to try to come with these new developmenting technologies while utilizing and bringing more utility to AI. And also, we have Alex Karp here saying that the commercial business continues to be a significant driver of our growth, a trend that we expect to continue. And we have seen this. This doesn't just sound like wishy-washy, making things sound good for investors. We've seen this in plain action. We've seen PLTR that has beat earnings hand over fist for the previous few quarters and now has hit that fifth quarter of GAAP profitability. S&P 500 inclusion is the next big thing that's on the table. And if we continue to sit back and see how PLTR can operate, we could be pushing, if we see a big breakout in earnings, PLTR possibly getting back into these mid-20s. Overcoming here, this $22 resistance, I think is going to be important. However, in the short term, we could be seeing PLTR testing that $20 just due to how Meta is trading right now, and depending what the GDP data will come in. But kind of so far throughout this year at the same time, devil's advocate, the S&P 500 has really just ignored all the inflation data. So this is what I'm saying. Data dispatch, my prediction, of course, I think we're going to see maybe a little bit of a small pullback here, possibly testing that 20. But however, with the earnings hype and the anticipation that we have, back to the mid-20s. That's what I'm seeing right now. We'll see what plays out. Peace out. Take care. And I will catch you guys later. Have a great day. And thank you guys so much for watching.